The crowd's alive, cameras flashing, adrenaline everywhere. It's the final minutes, and every move counts. But in a small, dim control room above the stadium, someone adjusts a number. Just one. The crowd cheers. The players are pushing harder, but no one notices. Because on the surface, the game looks fair. The effort feels real. But the score? The score's been rewritten. That's what happens when money stops reflecting reality. When someone, somewhere, decides to fix the numbers. It doesn't break the game overnight. It just changes what winning means. Because when the numbers change quietly, the game doesn't stop. People still go to work. Businesses still sell. Governments still spend. But something subtle happens. The effort and the reward drift apart. See, money isn't just paper or pixels. It's the scoreboard of our entire system. When more money enters the field, the scoreboard rises, but the value of each point, each dollar, falls. And because no one sees it happen in real time, we mistake movement for progress. We feel busier, work harder, and yet, somehow, everything costs more. That's the illusion of free money. It looks like a win until you realize the rules changed when no one was looking. And when the scoreboard first shifts, no one complains. Because why would they? Everything suddenly feels easier. Markets rise, spending spikes, and governments celebrate growth. That's the high of free money. For a while, it works. Businesses borrow more. Investors chase bigger bets. People feel richer, not because they earned more, but because the system said they did. But that comfort is borrowed. It's pulled from the future, from savers, from stability, from anyone who still believes the scoreboard is honest. It's pulled from something no one is even sure exists yet. And because of that, like any high, it fades fast. And when it does, the crash doesn't just hit numbers. It hits trust. Because when the crowd finally realizes the score was rigged, they stop playing the same way. Think about it. If the system is supposed to run on trust, as in that each number means what it says, that your savings hold value, that a promise to pay tomorrow is worth something today, you expect it to always be there, right? But when money creation becomes limitless, that trust turns fragile. Because if anyone can print value out of thin air, what's your effort really worth? Who's keeping it in check that it is trustworthy in the first place? Central banks call it liquidity. Governments call it stimulus. But to everyone else, it just feels like running faster on a treadmill that won't slow down. And do you want to know the irony to all of this? The same trust that built the modern economy is now what keeps it trapped. Because no one wants to be the first to admit the system only works as long as people believe it does. And when things start to break, the fix always sounds the same. Inject more liquidity. Stabilize the markets. Restore confidence. But fixing the game often means bending the rules even more. Lower rates. Bigger bailouts, endless safety nets. Every rescue teaches the system one dangerous lesson. You don't need to play carefully. Someone will cover the loss. That's how capitalism quietly turns into dependency, not on innovation or productivity, but on constant intervention. And here's the real cost. Every temporary fix becomes permanent policy. Every bailout becomes a precedent, until one day you realize the scoreboard isn't being repaired, it's being rewritten. Heck, is it even a scoreboard anymore? Every new rule, rate cut, or digital system is sold as control, as proof that the people at the top have it all handled. But the truth, it's a balancing act built on noise. They can't stop crises, only delay them. They can't fix markets, only disguise the cracks. And every illusion of control makes the eventual chaos that much harder to manage. Behind the dashboards and data feeds, the financial world isn't a machine. It's a living organism that's constantly mutating to survive. And no matter how many safeguards or algorithms we invent, human behavior always finds a way to break the model. Because when everyone believes the system can't fail, that's usually when it does. Every system built on promises eventually needs a reckoning, a reset. Not the cinematic kind with riots or revolutions, but the silent kind, the one that happens through new rules, new currencies, or new definitions of value. Where money doesn't collapse, it evolves. Digital settlements, programmable payments, tokenized assets. They sound futuristic, but they're really just a quieter way to rewrite the scoreboard again. The difference this time? The players might not even notice, because when the change happens through code instead of crisis, the reset doesn't look like a crash. It looks like progress. But maybe the question isn't, can we control it? It's, should we keep trying to? Because every layer of protection adds another illusion of safety. Every algorithm meant to stabilize ends up amplifying something else. And maybe, just maybe, the real problem isn't the scoreboard. It's that we forgot what the game was supposed to be about.